start, there's no going back. There is no leaving the path. Are you sure you're ready for that? I mean, really ready?
What is up, gamers? Welcome back to Really Longathon. I'm dylanjayfox, and if you guys were watching the stream a couple of days ago, you'll remember from doing a Spyro 2 run. However, we are going to be doing a Spyro 1 run here in a moment. Please let me know if the audio and everything is all good. We had a little bit of an issue last time. Just want to make sure we have that as much as possible for the wonderful people. But welcome on through. We're going to be doing Spyro 1 120 right now, and then we'll be following it up with Spyro 1 or Spyro 2 100%. And you'll kind of get to see the vast differences in the engines, the movement mechanics, and the collection aspects of Spyro 1 to Spyro 2. If you've never seen them before together in a duo facta sense, yeah, it's pretty cool. Also, massive GGs to the Nexomon run before me. Very sick race. I've actually played that game. It's really fun. If you haven't, it's fun casually. Give it a run. Same thing with Spyro, of course. Yeah, we're going to be getting kind of like right into it. What's up, Thrasher? What's up, Gamer? We're going to get right into it. It seems like we're having no technical issues. So, is my... There it is. Okay. I had to check something. We're good. Want to make sure my splits were up the way I had an idea of what our pace was. And we're going to go 3, 2, 1. and get going on this. Right. So, if you guys aren't familiar with Spyro 120%, this category involves you collecting all of the things. What are all of the things, you ask? Dragons, gems, and eggs. They are the three primary MacGuffins that we must collect. And we're going to hear a little spiel about this from our good buddy Nestor, specifically about dragons.
Thank you for releasing me, Spyro. Free 10 dragons in the artisan world. Then find the balloonist. He'll transport you to the next world.
What about Nasty Nork? I'm going after him.
Find dragons first. That's all I can tell you.
Pokemon through Thrasher. Ozzy, I know you can't hear me, but I hope all for you, game. Mostly just vocalizing the sentiment, even though it's unhate. So, you heard Nestor. We gotta focus on finding some dragons. Our first objective to get through this homeworld is to free 10 dragons in the Artisan's Realm. However, we're gonna bring a couple more than that. We're actually getting all of them on this trip through. In this route and in this game, there is no backtracking. Meaning, unlike Spyro 2, which kind of casually will have backtracking. And we kind of do technically have backtracking in Hundo, but it's kind of weird. We kind of do everything we can to avoid backtracking aspect. Ooh, unfortunate with that. I'm not very well versed in the flight levels in general in Spyro 1. Admittedly, of the trilogy, this is my least played of the speed games, but I still like it a lot. I think the movement engine, it takes a bit to get used to, but once you kind of get a vibe for it, it's pretty fun. But you kind of just have to put the time in and get used to it, so to speak. So the flight levels, very similar to the speedway levels if you see Spyro 2 or 3, involve a time attack. That's basically all they are. They're simply just the time attack portion of the speedway and nothing else. So here we're going to be hitting all of these chests at the end. We already hit all the planes, flamed all the barrels. We went through all of the arches. We're going to go into that scenery there, that little bit of geometry to what that does, it skips this whole like fly up animation Spyro does. It's actually pretty slow. So getting an animation there is pretty important. Bit quick with it. Alright, so these guys are a pretty unique enemy. They're the only enemy really like this in the game, where you have to flame them or hit them multiple times to get all of the gems out of them. No idea why they never reappear in this game, but it is their one. This like homeworld is their one and only appearance. So, yeah, that's a one and done for them. I agree with that, Bliss. I find that Spyro 1, if nothing else, is very beautiful. Like, a lot of the scenery, the skyboxes, even the music is incredible. There are a lot of grievances I personally have with Spyro 1 in specific, but it's not it's not to take away from the fact that I think as a game, purely just full send, it's phenomenal. There are some things that I complain about in the speed, but you know, you'll hear those as we come up to them. Number one thing you're gonna hear me complain about is the little blue guy right now. He's normally yellow. Iconically, your little dragonfly friend Sparks. He can be a bit unreliable, I find, in this game comparatively to Spyro 2 and even Spyro 3. But we're gonna give him his fair shake today. See what he wants to do. There's a key chest. We're gonna see more of those throughout the run. Basically, as you saw, I collected a key down below in another part of the level. Right to that chest, cracks it open. You know how it be. Good, Vanta. Welcome on through, my friend. Got plenty of cool Spyro homies pulling on through. If nothing else, by the way, if anyone here is potentially interested in running a Spyro game, if nothing else, Spyro 1 is by far the easiest to like pick up and learn. If only because a lot of it's just straightforward. There isn't a lot of this game that isn't intuitive. Like there are things about it that aren't. But like a majority of just kind of picking up the game and doing a run, you can kind of just do basically no experience. if you were to do a blind run of 120, it would take you by far the least amount of time compared to 2 and 3. Not just because the game's length is innately a little shorter, first game in the trilogy, but also just because it's very like straightforward, kind of following mostly casual paths, even in the speedrun, kind of optimizing them to a crazy level if you're a certain level of this game, which I'm not. I have like a 143. For context, record's a 120. I'm still happy with my 143 because I haven't really put that much time into it, but it does show how much that difference is across the run. There are certain strats people do that I don't, but it's all up to you and what you want to learn, what you want to implement speedrun capacity. Really make these games kind of like shine and kind of have your own like special like flares, quality of play to you. Play. There's our first and probably I think it's the only hint of a roll bounce. So there you saw Spyro enters roll animation. He gets that when he's on slope surfaces. Can't make it up. He'll go rolling type animation like that. Just in general, if you're in that and you are holding X, Spyro will continue to bounce in place, and he will actually gain quite a bit of height off of that, allowing you to kind of do what you saw, which is, again, a roll bounce. Kind of letting us get to the top section of this level early, whereas if we had to do it the full casual way, it would be a lot slower. Unfortunately, it's also one of those things where it's not hard to do at all. You pretty much jump into it and are just holding X the whole time. And there's an example of me not liking sparks. I attempted a flame charge there, missed the flame charge. The gem drops fast enough to where it doesn't matter if it doesn't flame charge. But he just didn't want to. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. He's very asleep at the wheel, so to speak. Also, Thrasher, I want to take a quick moment and thank you for verifying my all life bottles PB yesterday. Got a little Spyro 2 PB yesterday on a category. Thrasher here is a verifier for. Yeah, so that was gonna be something I brought up probably more towards like the Dreamweavers parts of the run a lot later on, but that's something to bring up for sure. Is like the enemy hitboxes in this game linger a lot, and with that, right, what happens is they get in your way so much. Like, it's actually a bit obnoxious how much like the enemy hitboxes get in your way when you're trying to do things like collect gems or like go through a tight corridor. It's pretty insane how much they take up in terms of space. Overall, not a bad Stone Hill, by the way. I'm actually pretty happy with this. Not my best, but definitely not my worst. Yeah, there's a lot of that. And also, just to talk about the elephant in the room with it, the movement engine I've discussed, right? When I was a kid, right, the reason I wasn't a big Spyro 1 kid, I was more of a Spyro 2 or 3, is because Spyro, as you'll kind of see, he controls very heavy, if that makes sense. Like, when he turns, you'll see me turn here. He turns very wide, and, like, you can kind of feel his, like, weight a lot. What you're seeing me do to kind of amend this somewhat, so to speak, is I'm jumping a lot. I'm doing, like, a neutral X press. And what this does is it more allows Spyro to, like, get into, like, get in the air and turn a bit faster. Otherwise, if you don't do that, you get, like, this weird pivot animation, which, for argument's sake, I'll show right at the beginning of this level, just so you see what it looks like. Yo, what is up, AJ? Welcome on through, my friend. Just to show you what a pivot looks like, right? It's something like this. Wait, hold on, I haven't got it. I'm doing like this, and it slows him down completely, where he'll like kind of stop fully, and then like slowly turn around. I'm so used to doing the movement optimally, I couldn't do it. Like I had to really focus on not doing it correct. I will get it accidentally here and there, for sure. Like that will occur, but pretty much you're gonna see like the number of X press in this game comparatively to, like, let's say Spyro 3, despite the fact that double jump is the core mechanic of that game, or compared to Spyro 2, I should say, Spyro 3. Despite that being the primary mechanic, you jump so much in this game to account for, like, Spyro's horrific turning radius. Recovery on that. There, we're trying to get to the thief as fast as we could while also getting the gems, which would be a bit hard. If you do that incorrectly, there's a good chance you, like, fall off or, like, something adjacent to that. Or, like, you simply... and then you have to chase them down a bit more. It isn't too big of a deal, it's just kind of inconvenient. One thing that also often gets overlooked, in my opinion, is just the variance of different, like, chest types. So, like, these red chests here I'm charging through, right? Those are your most basic one. Those you can flame, those you can charge through, those you can do whatever you want to and get gem more. In the case of, like, the grand scheme of what chests are available in this game, there's a lot of variables and a lot of different ones that, like, all react and do things differently. We have the key chest. Also, I want to hit this ball glide. Just 'cause I want to hit something. Just want to hit a trick. Bear with. Third try. Not bad considering I barely play this game. Take it. Oh, an insta-load on Toasty. We love that. So a lot of the variance in, like, how you collect gems and how you can, like, optimally do it comes down to, like, your ability to more your ability to, like, kind of better know what gems you're collecting from which chests and how to optimally do it. So one of the things that I did there that you might have, like, noticed is one of the red chests was broken when I flamed the one fan chest at the tail end of Town Square there. Pretty much to optimally do that section, you shoot the fan chest in a certain direction, you flame it. Right, these dogs are pretty tough enemies. Get the dragon here and then death. While I will complain about him, he's still pretty necessary. I'm just going to jump. Dogs aren't hitting me when I want them to hit me. That's fine. But yeah, you guys will see a bit more of it, like, later. Alright, now we come on to the game's first boss, if you want to call him that. In Toasty here. Now, Toasty won't properly attack you. He doesn't really pose any real challenge. There's only one boss that kind of does anything to you this whole game, but to say that they do any kind of an over exaggerate of what they actually but this honestly that wasn't great, but that's fine. It's okay. That sheep just fully got in my way. I didn't want to charge into him. Charge around. Went into him though. That's fine. Bit of collection there. Now we're going to encounter the game's first balloonist, Marco. Going to allow us to travel the peak, which is the game's second after Artisans here. Just in general, The game contains 6 homeworlds. There's artisans, magic crafters, makers, dreamweavers, and Nasty's homeworld, or Nasty's world, whatever it's called. I believe it used to be called Metal Makers in the game's beta. However, it was scrapped in favor of like kind of, I think, eliminating one of the planned levels for it, because you'll notice once we get there, it's a little bit smaller than the rest. Just in general, it's the different homeworlds kind of give all of their levels kind of the same rough theology, which a lot of people like. I think it's cool because it makes all the worlds in the homeworld feel more connected. Let's say in like Sunrise Spring and Spyro 3, where you have a level like Multiplayer and Seashell Shore, which kind of have like nothing to do with each other. But by the same token, I'm a really big fan of kind of the variety of levels that like they offer. So it's kind of a mixed bag. Like if you like it this way, totally fair. If you like it the other way, I think it's also fair. But it's definitely a neat touch. They all do feel very, very connected. Bit awkward move there. Nice recovery though. We collected Boris. So all of these dragons do have programmed in cutscene dialogue. Admittedly, they're not exactly good. Mostly because this game was made with like a fairly modest budget. Right? It was Insomniac's like big breakout project, but they still had to do it on something of a budget. So in general, the voice acting and stuff like that in this is a bit of a far cry from what it would later become in the reignited version of the game. As well as the animation dragon. They reuse like the same dragon models and color them for most of the dragon models in general, which isn't bad. Totally, I respect the decisions. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do. But a lot of them are very noticeably identical to each other, which again, not inherently a bad thing. Something of note. Another thing just to mention about all of the Norks and stuff like that exist here. One thing that you might notice is that there are gems coming out of them. So the reason for this in the game's lore, in the game canon, is Nasty actually burns the gems Norks. Something I personally didn't learn until much later in life. Only found that out in the last like. But here's an example of a fireworks chest. The idea is you're meant to like flame them like this one. I missed it. Supposed to like play off like a little firework and kind of cool animation for it. But oftentimes we will be charging into them. It does lose the sparks, but you know, another example of a fan chest. Now, if we let that fan chest kind of continue, we could have saw it break that red chest. But there is a later example of that happening. I have no idea what my camera just did there. If you're, I've never seen that happen to anyone, but no. Anyway, that was Dry Canyon. Not an incredible level. We definitely had some beef, but not bad. Like terrible. Fortunately, missed that one. That's fine. Work should be done. Yep. I wanted to give him a chance to eat. So I figured I'll grab those now. Normally you grab those gems later, but I was gonna have to wait regardless. I thought that would be a bit time. A little bit on the fly routing there. Here's Cliffdown. To start this, we're gonna do a little jump, which is not really intended. You're actually supposed to go to like the end of level, do a long glide, and then come back over here later on. But fortunately, it's not actually too hard to do that jump. It's a little bit tricky when you're first learning it, but put enough time into it, you'll definitely be able to learn it, get it down, all that fun stuff. I always feel like I need to double check the pots in this. So all of those like little metal pots you're seeing, like the giant orange enemies like stand next to, they contain gems, which are incredibly easy. If you're not careful about it. You're gonna see it pop out here. Funnily enough, one of the changes I really dislike about this level and reignited version of the game, aka the remake, is gems take a while to come out of the pots, and you can't actually. You have to like wait a second. It's very, very strange. A couple too many flames for my liking. Okay. I had to make sure I got that. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if I missed one of those in general. They're a bit tricky. Especially if you're not as well versed in this game as I currently am. I'm currently a couple days off of my my Spyro 1 grind, so to speak. I do like this game. I do like this category. Kind of one of them things where, like, you know, if you're not greasing the wheels ain't spinning. Type beat, you know. I have not been my Spyro 1 wheel at all recently. I've been mainly focused on a Spyro 2 grind, which again, you guys will see after this. Fortunately, a little bit better at that game than I am at Spyro 1. Almost forgot about this. Add a little start. Honestly, not a bad cliff town. I will totally take that cliff town. There was an enemy about to go in. One of the tents here in the overworld. They will do that if you aren't careful. Not collect. That one gem, just like I said, sparks in this game. You'll see it more often. He just doesn't like to do his job, so to speak, which context, his job is to collect gems. Like he's supposed to make the collection process a bit easier. That way you don't have to run over every single gem individually, as you do when you are sparksless. Well, he does definitely make it easy. Sometimes he decides he just doesn't want to. Right there, I got a little scared because there is a chance that the gems from these guys, as they run off the cliff, what they can do is they can fall off in such a way where they don't actually fall out into the void, which there's a failsafe in the game where if they fall into the void, they'll automatically collect as if Spyro got them. But there's a way that one of those ones can fall, where it falls alongside the like side of the level, like it's sloped, so it'll fall in such a way still on, but not collect, and it's really annoying. Also, what's up, Boat Rider? Best song in the game? Pretty good one. It's one of the better Spyro 1 tracks, I'd agree. I think I like Loot. I think Loot might be my favorite song in the game. They also, for context, if you're wondering why this one is so loud, they did not do audio balancing well at all in this game. With that is why this one is so much louder than the rest. Hope you're doing well, by the way, Vorana. Good to see you. Appreciate you. My brain turned off. I went the exact opposite way. That's fine. I was thinking I did. There's a version of the route where you do night flight before Dry Canyon at the start of this, and my brain was thinking that route. But we are not doing that route today. Just in that flame's a little bit. I'm gonna make it a little bit tighter, but still make this with plenty of time to spare. Again, as you can see for the time attacks, they're timer ticket down the top right. You get additional time for every single obstacle or object to destroy or fly through. Just in general, they're pretty forgiving, mostly. But if you miss one, a very inopportune one, like any of them, it can spell disaster for you might have to restart it. Fortunately, the one that we missed was not that big of a deal. Going to turn back around, finish it, and then also vote red. I hope you're. Well, it's not your morning. I don't know why I said over in on the other side of the world. Grab gunner. Up. Death abuse. Here's where we would have collected the gems I did. Over here. Grab the 2 red gems there, but grab them before. Like, continue moving. Now we're getting into the most thematically off level, I think, of this whole homeworld. So like I said, they all follow a theme in homeworlds. Ice Cavern doesn't follow quite the same theme. A lot of the other ones probably notice are like kind of more deserty and stuff like that. Well, they all feature giant holes to fall into. That's at least something that they all share. Disregard that. That didn't happen, right? Nobody saw that. Giant enemy hitboxes. Giant enemy hitboxes. But yeah, Ice Cavern doesn't quite seem to follow the same vibe to their home. Works. About what exactly then? Get it? You know what I'm saying. So in this level, one of its like kind of gimmick chest adjacent things, similarly to the cauldron and Bright Canyon, like these like posts, which have fairly. That was an insane wall glide. It's got a lot of height off that. I've never seen gotten height like that off of it. They have very, very strangely like hard to hit hitboxes. So if I run past one times, Don't laugh at me. Or do. I'm not your dad. Life. Get like kind of sensing too. I also wanted to hit him, but I missed him. Fine. Kind of clean it. Grab that. I messed that room up quite a bit. That's okay. We recovered. We got through it. That's all that matters. Red gem likes to be very finicky. Fine. I think I may be missing a gem. I'm not sure. Good Frosty. I'm gonna assume you're West Coast, based off of the message. Disregard that collection. Again, nobody saw that. As long as we can all mutually say that nobody saw that, that's all. We can't mutually that then. Well, we're gonna have some problems. That's not bad. Cool. This level you kind of have seen. Thing I didn't really mention about it is you kind of do it in kind of a like reverse order, like to how like the game kind of intends you to. But still not like super off base for like effect level 2 effect of you. Not crazy out of order. Yeah, I'm over in New York personally, so it's 8:10 for me as well. Over in Concrete Jungle, Wet Dream Tomato, as that one song goes. Okay, Gosnold didn't want to talk to us for a second. I had to curse him. So Gosnold's saying was he wanted us to have a certain number of gems. We actually entered with enough gems to leave already, but of course we're collecting everything, so we had to go into all the levels anyway. And it would have just been slower to come back here. Regardless, so you know. Alright, so welcome to Match of Crafters. This is very commonly most folks' the favorite home in Spyro 1, I find. It has a certain vibe and a certain energy to it, which I think is very fun. I think it's very whimsical. The color palette in this room especially is one of my favorite areas in the entire game. I just think it's insane. I love the colors of red and gold. Kind of like greenish get from the lighting. Here we'll be using a fan chest to hit into this enemy. A fan chest went directly into the enemy. Doing the both. I almost got a flame charge. Gosnold is a yes. And so Alpine Ridge, the first of the worlds we're gonna be heading to here. Honestly, compared to the later ones, this is kind of like your kind of like your average Jane, your average Joe level. If you wanna whatever you wanna frame it as. The main gimmicks of it are these like little wizards. They'll kind of elevate these platforms and open certain doors, close certain. So to remedy that, we just have to simply Not bad. We covered that. That was, I don't know why that 5 gems. Guy is on this platform elevated. However, instead of letting him do that, we simply attack him while he's not looking. Or control stairs. Again, to remedy them not doing it with those stairs in the future. So we're going to back here. God. Might be thinking to yourself, what about them? What about like their family? What about like car? It's okay. Got their gem. Alright, anyway, this one opens a door. Now he's gone. I don't know what else to say, really, beyond just like the enemies interact with the environment, make it very dynamic. I think it's cool. It tries like all these different like in-level triggers. However, once they're gone, triggers simply don't matter. Levels just kind of return to being kind of a basic platform level. On up. I am gonna grab this. It's like a little chest, gain extra life. But going into Beastmakers is very commonly known as one of the hardest, if not the hardest. I am anticipating a few deaths. I'd rather not game over a level. Gonna be grabbing a couple of extra. Here we're gonna go through a wall, turn left, and hit a thief. I lied to you? Didn't lie to you. Told you the truth. Yeah, it's one of those rare spots in Spyro 1 where they didn't really think about the fact that you could go that way and just go straight through that wall. You can pretty much do that jump casually. I do it with a charging, or what is called a charge glide. I had to think about the names of mechanics for a second, because Spyro 1. Hit the fodder. I was actually hoping to get that here. But yeah, you can do that with like a normal glide as well. You can just go straight through that wall. Saves a decent chunk of time because you just basically avoid having to chase down the thief, which you otherwise would have to like a little chase sequence with. Get that enemy. All of this fun stuff up. Head on into high caves. And there is something else we're going to do after this level, which some people might find interesting. But for all that, we, of course, have to the level. So to start the level off, you have like little tornado guys, the tornado Joes, if you will. If you get the reference, shout out to you. Who are fighting the ice guys. Wow, I've got... And you pretty much just have to get up and around them. Nothing crazy. From here, we're going to start off with the charge glide platform. We failed. Again, these guys like to move these platforms left to right. It's actually very easy to die there. If you're on a bad cycle, which that I was. Thought I was like barely on, but I was. A-okay. Grab my boy Ajax. Here we're gonna all of those firework chest gem. Now here we have another have to chase down. Mind. 2 gem first. We have to chase that down because Sparks game. Chasing down to here. Grab the egg off him. We have a couple of gems we have to clean up throughout here. So running through nice and slow. Fun fact: in United, you have like better control over supercharge essentially, which allows you to kind of do like this entire level in a vastly different way. Creates a very unique. Frankly, I think makes this level look a lot more flashy. Definitely can do a lot of flashy things. Original Spyro 1. Yeah, the PAL OST for High Caves is genuinely comparatively, as Thrasher said. Very nice. Wanted to make sure we hit that spider. Reason for it simply because now we would have to get or flame later again. The little fairies that kiss us give us flame ability, which basically allows us to break through penetrable chests. Very important. Cave. Honestly, not bad of a high cave. Yeah, I hit a bunch. We took a death, but all in all, this was solid. We're gonna turn left here to hope to hit a fat fan chest. Missed it, but that's fine. Hit it the old-fashioned way. And head on out. It was honestly a solid high cave. Despite the death and also the beginning not really going great, I'm pretty happy with that. Here we're going to go ahead and grab Xantor. Then we're going to go ahead and start a supercharge. Left 4. Down into this room. Break. Otherwise be a chest unit. And we're actually not going to death him. Actually recently found out this is a bastard. Anyway. Use supercharge, break open another strong chest, and then head right on into. Overall, this is a pretty solid 120 run for me right now. Considering my expectations were on the floor. I'm pretty happy with how this one has started on out. Start the level, and I want to go all the way around here. We might be doing this twice. We'll see, though. I'm going to hope that we don't have to. So one of the things you could do is you can jump off over that way where I just was. That would give you access to gems and stuff like that, which is kind of hard to access. However, I'm going to bet on myself, despite the fact that I haven't practiced this trick in approximately 5 years. Not really. It's probably been about a year since I've done it, but I'm sure I think I remember. So this is a room we would want to enter into. Pretty much there's a wizard up top, which you just saw at the top there, which you want to be able to get to. However, there is a little trick that we do here to get in. I'm going to try it the super fast way once. I'll try it the back up slightly slower way. Not exactly moving. Close, actually, very close. All right, we're gonna do this the backup way. I could very easily spend a multiple. Okay, well. Bad. Over here. What am I doing different? Oh no. Oh. Alright, one more honest attempt at this. I'll do it the casual way if I need to. Yeah, I'm gonna go do it the casual way. So basically, you're supposed to be able to get like a little charge up there that lets you get all the way up to the top. However, I unfortunately was fumbling the bag there. I was pretty confident I could do that too. That sucks. We're gonna do the whole run around. A little bit unfortunate. If we did this to begin with, it would have lost a significant amount less time, but it's all good. It ain't a big deal. Still gonna be well within S. Gems. Supercharging into a wall like that, there. Gems. It works on a couple of walls, but this one is the most prominent. Here we're gonna supercharge to that same place, except instead of going all the way up, we're just around. I unfortunately did not get a high enough super. Okay. That's not what you want. That's fine. We're on orange. All right, on a positive note, we have missed a gem. There's one thing I can still remember about this category, it's gem counts. And we fortunately have the exactly correct number. Wasn't gonna collect. Right, yeah. Alright, so we lost give or take a minute and 20 seconds or so to that trick, but that's fine. Honestly, not a big deal at all. Again, considering the length of the not a huge. TY for the GLs, Toronite. Welcome on through, my friend. If you guys are into the United version like them, my friend Toronite here is currently an active runner for. He runs both Spyro Reignite and also Spyro Reignite 1. Basically the any percent category, any percent MBS in the Spyro 1. That's okay, so okay, well, we've missed quite a few planes. We can still make this up. We'll lose some time. That's fine. This flight, I actually very historically have always found the hardest. I can still make it from here. Debating on if I should restart. A turnaround makes this a lot tighter than otherwise. See how it goes. Should still be able to make. Guy down. I think we're fine. Alright. Not a good crystal fight at all. And historically, it's probably my worst fight in this game. I've always struggled with it. The plane section at the beginning especially is very hard. But we're gonna exit, pick up Boldar, our boy Boldar. There is a skip to be able to skip his cutscene, as it where you enter. Fortunately, I am not super well versed in how to do it, but there. $5,100 here. Yeah, it was a little scary. I really didn't want to lose a bunch of time to having to read. I'm gonna hear the words "good recovery" a lot for me throughout the rest of the Spyro 1 run. Honestly, unfortunately I did say this at the start. It's not my most played. I'll say that much. I still like it. I still think it's quite good, but was never my my cup of tea compared to the other two. That's A-okay. Red gem. Fine. I just basically didn't want. I find Crystal to be a lot ignited strictly because of the ability to charge the flights. Don't exactly have in OG. Like you get like a lot better flight levels, I find, at the flight sections. Oh, I actually took a hit there. Okay, makes the collection a little bit more awkward. There, it actually proximity of each other. But unfortunately, we kind of got hit there. My best blowhard, but definitely not a disaster. Gone a times worse. Head on into Maker's Nest. We're already halfway through the game, more or less. More or less. The latter half is definitely the longer half, but played through the world is my. So we're making decent time too. Solid little pace for me. Nothing quite PBable, but like definitely for my expectations going into this, I will take it. Charge on him. Okay. My boy Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno though. Don't bring up none of that. Head on into terror. Not bad so far. Bad. Once again, a wonderful case of Spyro 1 enemy hitboxes remaining 5 years already paired. When you're better versed in this game, it's a lot less annoying to deal with them, but you still will. Like, it'll still happen. It's a lot less free. You're up, my friend. Thank you for the details. I hope you're having a Slide. Nice section. That was an incredible. Genuinely, I think that dying there was probably like fell. Time around that one. Not bad. That too, not collect. Spyro 1 spark. Not bad. Clean up the back half of this level, call it good. Tried to hit that enemy in a certain way as I charged from the, because the enemy hitbox is also interfering with flame interaction. Like when you flame like a big enemy that guy's hitbox in the them, you're pretty much just guaranteed to take a hit. Obviously. Always found this section in particular okay. Not a bad terrace, again, considering some of the flubs we've had. Pretty solid. Charge on. Now here's a little jump scare part here. Boar just comes out of nowhere. As a kid, that boar scared me. And I threw my controller the time I ever encountered it. Like one of my most vivid. Just completely yeeting my controller at my giant box. Because that boar out of me. Anyway, another flight level. So, much like the other ones, your objective is to kind of hit all of these different things, fly through the obstacle, right? This one I would tell you, if you're ever to like just kind of like, maybe you do IL grinding, grind level segments, whatever. This one I personally find my favorite. It's the only one I've ever done, just basic IL. I just find it enjoyable. It's pretty simple, but it's pretty cool. Fly through this tunnel here. Box. Hi. Oh, that's deep. Alright, we're not gonna get the animation skip, but we not running or failing it or nothing. Unlucky. Still very solid. Sub-hour wild flight for me is pretty good. Currently we're on 58 out of that. But my like live split. My boy. One of the better dragons. Dragon number 50 as well. Now we're going to be heading into what is probably inarguably the most difficult Spyro 1 level. It may not be difficult. Runners are very adept. However, I think anyone who's played this game casually will tell you the amount of times you will die in this level is pretty astronomical. I genuinely would not be surprised if I spend a life or two. Genuinely a pretty difficult level. Pretty hard split in both the any percent and 120% category. That's further bolstered by like the crazy strong enemies they have in this level. Frogs, if you even hesitate about your line on killing them, they will punish you. You like very brutal. When you make like any kind of mistake, the game is sure to punish you. Little bush enemies aren't too bad. However, the little knife enemy coming up where can be a bit brutal. Again, if you very similarly to the other, play your line if you're not entirely sure about your line, very easy. But just get absolutely pummeled. Again, loot lives. Quite a bit of time. Fortunately, though, this hasn't been going too bad, so. However, we are only at the beginning of it, or less still. When I tell you the last part of the level that we do the hardest, I promise you, I advocate. Flash, thank you for the raid into Longathon, my game. Hope you are keeping well, my friend. Hope you're streaming well. Up to that. Okay. Another thing that makes level hard, like a higher level, like kind of the reliance you have on your ability to flame charge the. As you saw, it kind of got a bit clunky having to recollect their gems and kind of like take a bit of a little bit of a different line. While the collection. And in a speedrun capacity, I just tried to flame that metal. The speedrun capacity, like that kind of flow is. If you miss a flame charge, your ability to kind of do bubble kind of fails a little. It can just innately be hard to cover from that kind of mistake. Yeah, Zero Mercy is probably a good descriptor for the level. For no mercy. Wrestling. I'm gonna die here, actually. I don't want to go into this final section with anything less than. I was gonna like try it on blue, but on I'm not going. This section here is pointed by speed Monton. It is genuinely a war zone. As you can kind of tell, there is a obscene amount of enemies all packed into the first you need to kill to get. And even in the any percent category, it's optimal to do this because of the volume of, and also the fact that that room is quite literally a lot of ways, but got through it. All in all, not a bad bog. That was not a bad bog at all. I will take that every day. Twice on Sunday. And now we're gonna head to the main of my childhood. That is Tree. So this level, when I was a kid, there's a section of this level that you have to access, of course, to complete the game. Like all of the things. However, Kid Me had zero idea how to access it. And I spent, no joke, like endless hours level trying to figure out how to get all of the gems. I could not figure out how to. and it took like probably like around like 4 or 5 hours or something like that. Beat one level in this game. And that part of the level is fortunately, I say this in hindsight, not too bad to get to in the speed. I'll show you it in a second. Grab the extra life. Exactly what that's here on, and this is the island particular. Now I'm really hoping I don't spend multiple jumps on it. Basically, yeah, way that you're meant to do. Wow, okay, all right. Not getting lucky. By a mile. Basically, you're meant to do like this very long contrived supercharge throughout the entire level. Kid me could not comprehend or think of. And again, it took me forever to figure out a way to get over here. And I don't even remember if I did it the right way. I don't remember if like I did something more close to like, or if maybe I do different entirely. But what I like had to do to get to that like full island, it took me forever. A horrific level for that reason. In a casual setting, because it just doesn't tell you. It doesn't tell you how to get there at all. But nevertheless, in a speedrun capacity, it's as simple as pretty much just jumping, which feels wrong to say, but even though I failed it twice, it is as simple as just jumping. My jumping was just bad. Anyway, you supercharge here again. I'm gonna charge through Longbox. Here we're going to attempt a trick as Stone Knot by a runner of the same name. Here our goal is going to be to go up the side of this park. Unfortunately, missed it. Basically, the idea is you're supposed to go up that, kind of use it as a ramp. It can bonk you, so I was trying to take it as like good, but unfortunately, did fail it. So we're going to do the backup strat, which is casual. A long contrived super. Enough speed. Up here. And that is ups. Once again, it's a level I don't want to bash because I think it comes at with like a lot of good ideas. But as a kid, it is super duper challenging. In the speedrun capacity, it's also kind of hard to do. Now we're gonna get into from a challenging thing, a less challenging thing, of metal. If I can make that. God, I can. So Metalhead, for those unaware, is the fourth boss of the homeworld. Basically, he was actually modeled in game, like part of the lore. Modeled to be basically a metal version of Nasty, a la like a Metal Sonic, but Nasty, final boss of the game. Just in general, it's one of the harder boss fights. I wouldn't tell you definitely one of the. life count, I think we've been doing good and keeping like kind of just picking up lives. So I'm glad we're around 5 currently. Dreamweavers also gets a bit difficult in parts, which after this I am be kind of taking looks at my life totals. The life count, because again, don't want to be game over on you guys. Bit of a clunky start there. Fine though. On down to pretty much the metalhead fight involves us pretty much charging through all of these metallic poles. Can't flame me, you have to charge through them. Well, he throws enemies at us, uses abilities, and then he moves on to his second room. And we are, of course, trying to do all of this while collecting and as efficiently, fast as possible. Setting. But start metalhead. Dead. I did that. Funny. We unfortunately missed a. That's unlucky. My joke got ruined. Well, it's over. No joke. Metalhead is gone to atoms. That red gem just did not collect because Sparks is a quality asset. Glad Sparks exists. That's Metalhead though. Again, nothing crazy, not an insane level, but it's a nice reprieve for Justin, if you ask me. And so our goal to clean up all the rest of the gems in the Maker's Home. Supposed to do. I was doing the 8% route there. Brain turned off slightly. Okay, so this red gem, if I leave now, not collect. Like, stay here, turn around, talk to Craig, and unfortunately, I didn't land on the gem. You're supposed to land on it. That of course makes it fast. What the green tastes like? Bedded slime skip. I've always thought it would taste a little bit more like not that. Ozzy and can get a candy cane. Hope everyone's holiday was just in. So, out of all the Spyro 1 level, if there is one that is probably the most punishing to have an untimely demise in, probably this. And you guys will kind of see as I go through why that is. But Haunted Towers, while it is one of my favorite levels in the absolutely, it's actually probably my favorite Spyro 1 level, full stop. I think the enemy types are really general to level. Well, I do think all of these positives about it. can be rather punishing to take an untimely death. Specifically, die after getting power up, because it makes that eternal super flame not so. Basically, I'm gonna be heading over there now. Charge a bit. But we're gonna climb all of these stairs, get past all of these enemies before they come alive. Top here. And this fairy is gonna give us a super. If we die while having this, we then will have to grab a bunch of like kind of less optimal to clean up stuff, which we have a ton of time. It's gonna be get carried. Try to keep that definitely. Grab a Copano. Not bad. Comes up there. Grab my boy Hollow. Put a little bit of dialogue there for a frame. All right, fellas. From now, rest of the run. If you guys would like to hear a dragon's dialogue, I will literally sit here and wait in the whole dialogue box. I am on a pre. I'll be able to have by click. If you guys would like that, you get $5 and the dragon's name. I will sit here and I will watch the entire cutscene. Guys, of course, do for open mega foundation. My noise gate is chopping off. I can raise my gain manually here. I'm also like not talking directly into the microphone, which might also help. No obscene disaster, by the way. This level is just what you want to see. Barring a missed gem here, we should add open my big fat mouth, didn't I? Okay, well, we've missed a 1 gem somewhere. But now we need to retrace our steps and go find. I have a feeling I have an idea where it could. Is where I think it's going to take us a second to get back there. So we will see. We'll not up there. Got you. Okay. I'll try to talk a bit more into the mic directly and just have it like right up against me. Gonna head on up. Okay. All right, I get it. I do want to say this. I checked out there twice because I thought one of the gems maybe didn't collect, but it was in such a position where I literally. That's unfortunate. That's fine. We continue moving. It's not a huge deal. All right, and Dark Passage. Now I talked about the last level being very punishing. For dying for a death, right? This level isn't quite as punishing for death as it is for missing gems, which is of course what we just did. So pretty much there's a whole section in this level which you kind of have to go through like in order. Like you have to go like there's no way to like skip into a certain part of it. Like you have to follow a set path all the way around, which if you miss a gem during that path, cause you to go all the way through again. Got you. These are the mic settings that I had set up with one of the people from Really Really Longathon, tech people. They were finding I was having some issues with settings I normally use on stream, so I simply what I was told more or less. But yeah, pretty much that whole section, if you miss a gem during it, it can cause some pretty big issues. Another thing to note about this level is enemies, these little dogs here that become the big dogs. That's unfortunate. They're not super bad. Turtles, especially when they're small, can't very easily kill you. Cost you quite a lot of time. Trying to. Beginning of that path I mentioned starts right around now. Works was ideal. Turtles are arguably the most aggressive enemy in the game. Turtles are. They just hate you from, like, if you take even like a small moment to like readjust, it just doesn't matter. Sure, I'm gonna bet that I gotta play him off. I jumped the flame because I wasn't going to hit him. Don't hurt the dog. I'm sorry. Cora must perish. I don't make the rules. Not make the rules. Game, brother. Obasi. I don't know why I charging jumped that. I just charging jumped and yeah, I couldn't have made that. And for some reason done. I'm just again gems in bust that open. That firework I've also seen like people firework that strong box, which of course will make you run all the way the entire section as per gem. Well, without that death, that was actually a really good dark passage, I would say, even with the parts were full dream. Happy. Again, considering my Spyro 1, and some, especially recent, I'm pretty happy with how this run is shaping out, fellas. It's incredible, but it's definitely solid for my skill. Gonna have to push the cannon over here, use its ability. Guys, all. Well, it wouldn't be a marathon without cannon. Okay, didn't. Had to adjust it. Okay. So for context, there's a glitch that can occur called cannon glitch. Basically, aim at those guys and occasionally, cause the cannon to basically not correctly. So what will happen simply will not connect your shrinking shot with that. Stay big. Awesome. Speaking of pretty awesome, here we are in our last traditional flight level. There is technically, however, it's kind of a, let's look up and different. One is probably among the easy ones, similar difficulty to Wild Flight. Only makers. This one has a little added challenge of the animation cancel. A little bit harder to do, especially considering I am slightly off cycle to hit optimal. I'm gonna have to go back up one. Not bad. Bad. No. And it does just get you, Tora. It does simply just get you every once in a while. Never want to see a cannon glitch, but it. Here we are into Lofty. A level of all time. I will say, in terms of the overall Spyro 1 level, this one is probably executionally at the top level in the argument for the hardest. 20%. Just a lot of things that you have to do, have to go in, are very, very challenging. Fortunately, however, I'm not that good at 120. I don't have to worry about that. We are going to be doing baby straps, which is still kind of hard, but nothing quite as hard as like Deo or Sabu, Diggy Bang, a handful of other top runners, Adam even. I have never hit that once in a run ever. If anyone's curious if that's true or not, that is not a lie. I just don't go for it. I've never had like a gems are gonna conquer. I got the fairy box up. Okay. covered okay. Despite, like, how awkward this... It's honestly awkward. A-okay. Up that. And I think the best thing I can do on this super... That was... My best route is going to be to die. And for us to just go give us a fully fresh Sparks. Is going to help us a lot for this next section. That was the betters that way. I was thinking about doing a very different charge, but I'm just not practicing at it right now. Basically, the route changes to strats level. As you know, speed game thing. Head on over here. That little boy. We are making decent pace, by the way. I am still very happy with this run all along. Just again, considering expectations with 120 for me. Yeah, non-existent. We're on a little sub 2 hour pace. Pretty solid. Fun fact about these. No matter how you hit them, whether you charge them, play in them, etc., their gems will always collect too. Same thing with like the blue. They'll always collect to you. But the turkeys, for whatever reason, so like they always automatic. Pretty cool. Makes collecting them a lot easier. Time we were on a pretty decent cycle, so I wasn't about it, but Sparksy. Starts eating. I thought the chest was not going to. That is Lofty Castle. Honestly, not a bad Lofty. That's a cool piece of trivia. Yeah, for those who don't know, the musician Stuart Copeland from, funnily enough, Osier Spyro game. He's also the composer for, I believe, most of. Very well known for being kind of the Spyro game everyone to not remember. But it happened. Can't ignore it. What else is gonna occur? We're gonna have a good jock here. Good jock here. So I very much so as a kid, kind of as a, I have mispronounced the name. Jacquet? Which, it's, argue with Jacquet. The French aside, go ahead and for a strat here. Yeah, probably should. I was going to go for single cake, and then I actually thought better of it. My movement has not been single cake. Entire run. Pop open that. Normally you would have to do extra platforming. But how we do it, it's not a big deal. Strong chest now, which is nice. And now we're facing Jock. His attack is to throw a present at you, which you actually just charge through. Meaning, attacks do nothing. Does nothing. Grab 175 gems from level X there. Now we get to go ahead and finish out the level. Yeah, it's a funny piece of comedy. You just don't care about the fairies. Okay, we got everything we want. Spyro is a very unique character in the sense of he is meant to be heroic in some aspects. He's more of a hero of circumstance than he's not really one seemingly by character. Actually necessarily do help, but the circumstances that happen cause him to help. That did not work how I wanted. That's unfortunate. So what's up, Mari? Between this and the Spyro 2 run, by the way, if I could, I'm gonna go ahead and make my mic settings a bit different to try and accommodate my mic actually not cutting out as much. Apparently it is. All right, that is not too bad. Apparently, I'm comparing currently on my splits to my latest run. Apparently, my Jock in my latest run lost quite a lot of time. If you're curious. Try that. Yeah, I got you. I just want to take a second and kind of mess with it if I can. Just so it's not as messed up. I apologize for the tech issues on my end. It wasn't, weirdly, I didn't have any issues mic-wise when I ran Spyro 2 Hundo like last week, a couple days ago, whenever it was. It was on the 23rd, I believe. Could be wrong. No, it was the 22nd. Losing track of the days, you know how it is. Anyway, Nork Cove, as I mentioned earlier in the run, something you will immediately note about the Nork Nexus levels and or the Nasty's World levels is they're all kind of, they're all loose for theme. Enemies have like things, guns, other stuff. Which, for a game about like a mythical dragon, kind of out of place, don't you think? I think just a little bit. Unfortunate. Job dodging that. Fortunate start to this level though. Yo, Thrasher, you're nuts. Thrasher, just for that 25, we're gonna watch the entirety of the cutscene at the end. I'm gonna use that time also to try to mess with my audio settings. Thrasher, you absolute goat. Thank you so much for the donation. Marathon has raised a lot of great money for a phenomenal cause. I'm really happy that the Spyro community got to be part of it in some way. It's awesome seeing like Spyro people pull out for like these marathons, and you know, even if you're just watching, lurking, vibing, interacting, like whatever, it goes a long way for like marathons like this. I know that USC is a very, people who know me of course will know USC. It's a very similar venture in that aspect where even if you're not able to spend money at the marathon or on the marathon, or you know, donate and whatever else, like just you being there helps a lot, you know. And I know that that's just kind of true for basically every marathon ever to the sun. So it goes a long way. I agree with that, Mari. In general, like the Spyro, Crash, just general PlayStation speedrun community is just filled with just really genuine and kind people who just want to see like each other succeed and like want to like raise money for, like different great causes at marathons and all this fun stuff, while simultaneously like enjoying the games we all share. Like, and I think that's kind of the core of it, right? Like any speedrunning marathon is about games and everything, right? It's also really about like kind of the communities that these games build. Without the communities that are built around these games, like marathons kind of don't exist the same way. They don't really receive quite the same support the other one. Can I get some 07s in chat? Get some 07s in chat for that one. for that minor beef. Get some 07s. We get more 07s. Get more 07s for that. Yo, Europe. Thank you for the dono as well, gamer. Making some great progress towards the goal of... Hello? Okay. I look like I'm trolling, and I promise you I'm not trying to. Got a few drops of gem. Alright, and we're good. And that's Door Cove. Wow, what a level. That was insane. I died 3 times right at the end. Alright, boys. Anyway, again, the homeworld's pretty small comparatively to all the other ones. This one was kind of very rushed comparatively to the last ones. So what they did was they reused the head that they made originally for the Artisan's World, OC level, duped that 3 times, and then gave Cove its own unique portal. That's how Spyro 1 Final Homeworld basically came to be. It's a bit of a rush job, but it came out pretty decent. Levels are pretty fun. I personally find a lot of the North Nexus levels playable, even when the whirlwinds don't work. Love this game. Oh. He just phased into existence. Did you see that? Never seen that. I need to be hold so badly. What? Talking about Mario. On chance. Violet Harbor, among all of the Nasty's World levels, is probably my first. Oh, I need to get these. I need to get the dragon first. Got. Do you want to get the dragon here? Because we're going to be doing some death abuse strats. Where first and foremost, we have to go up to the top of this. I forgot you had to get the dragon first. I always think you don't. We're going to grab those gems. Then we're going to head on over here. Funny little supercharge. Collect all the gems up over. Gonna take a death abuse. Then we're gonna climb up this ramp again. Go ahead and turn on around. On that guy's gem on the way. Want to avoid the rat there because if we hit the rat, it can actually stop our supercharge. We hit it at the right way. So we actually really didn't want to hit that. That one tried to jump in the way to get down Mr. President strong chest. But we got out of it. We got out of the way. We are continuing to cook. Sparks is not ID. Want to make sure I had 400. Not bad. Not bad, not bad, not bad. I am the judge of Spyro. One day I'll be the executioner when I get to put this game to bed forever. Anyway, so we're gonna be heading into Nasty Nork, the final boss of the game, guy who we've been waiting to fight this entire time. And you think to yourself, man, I've just played an hour and 48 minutes of Spyro. This is surely gonna be a tough fight, a fun fight, exciting. All right, so we start by grabbing a key. You think to yourself, why are we grabbing keys? Boss fight. Well, we need to open these doors, collect gems. You know, obviously this is 120, so do all this fun stuff as well. But like, you know, in addition to that, we are doing. We're gonna have to unlock his that he's definitely on. And to do that, you have to chase down these. Admittedly, aren't really hard to catch. Kind of want to get them when you get them. Have to begin a chase. Instead of fighting us, as he does, is he runs from us. Now, I am going to attempt to do this in one cycle, which involves me getting all of the gems on the way through. So far, we started off actually really nice. Not bad. Should be able to make this. Nice. Should be able to make this. Nice. We made the one cycle. Okay. So now we're going to chase Nasty on through this lava room. And hopefully not fall into the... Alright, and that's how you beat Nasty Nork, the final boss. However, that isn't it. That's not all we have.
Sorry,
We still have a little bit more to go.
I kind of forgot about
So,
What about Ganasty Ganork?
I talk like that.
Nasty Nork.
How? I actually don't understand how it's cutting me off, by the way, because my
Now
noise gate.
there's order again in the Dragon Kingdom?
Well, most.
Gate.
I've still got some treasure.
I'm gonna disable the noise
What
gate.
will you
Let me
do
know if
next?
this is better or if it's
I'd say the
worse,
sky's the limit.
for whichever reason. And we're going to watch the cutscene, both for marathon safety and also because I want to talk to you guys. I want to talk to everyone here. So, to talk to you guys about what we're raising money for. Specifically, the Open Medicine Foundation of Canada, right? Basically, it's a cause looking to find cures for diseases that are life-altering, life-changing. And the reason why we're raising money for it is because we want to make a difference, right? I know speedrunning is just a hobby where we kind of do funny things like make a purple dragon go fast or make a Italian plumber man do funny jumps upstairs sometimes. But the reason why marathons like this exist truly, beyond showcasing speedruns and speedrunners, is to raise money for great causes. And the Open Medicine Foundation of Canada is a phenomenal cause, which I would very, very strongly encourage you read up on. Think of things like research for things like COVID-19, things like research for cancer. I botched it. It's over, boys. I botched the speech. But think about like things like that need to find cures and different kinds of ways to combat these diseases. That's what we're raising money for. So I do encourage you read up on it, and if you're able to, donate yourself, of course. In the meantime, we're gonna watch some credits because this takes a while. This takes a while. Yeah, we have to enter the post game here soon. Have to enter the post game here. I came down with the case of the Canada, don't you know? You got me. You got me. You got me. I botched it. It's on me. It's on me. But yeah, we're really close to the goal. Like we're really close. And I believe the original goal was $4,000, and this is kind of like a stretch goal on top of it, which ultimately, guys, a goal is a goal, but we really should just kind of keep pushing towards whatever amount we can get to. And this is the final day of the event, you know? We got, after my runs, I believe we have a Shin Megami Tensei run and a Final Fantasy run coming up after. And that's it for a really, really long-a-thon for right now. So, again, if you guys want to support it, I would really, really strongly encourage it. But now, we must head into our final level. The last goodbye, if you will, for Spyro 1. This is Nasty's loot. The idea of this level is it's Nasty's loot. It's where he keeps all of his gems, you know, all of his extras. Aesthetically, everywhere that we've already explored is Nasty's loot as well. They're all his worlds at that point. However, Spyro's retaken everything else back. Let's grab the extra 2,000 as well, why don't we? So, this level does not contain any enemies that can damage us, only goop on the floor, which we can fall into. And the explicit purpose for loot is simply to give you another couple of gems to collect. We're gonna shoot this fan chest into this thief. Look at that, he got hit in the head. Really awesome. He's gonna give us a key. And the sequence of this level is kind of unlike any of the other flight levels or levels otherwise, where the idea really is just you're gonna get these keys from different thieves and just kind of fly around. And every time you reach a new area, you can jump off that height, and it gives Spyro an additional like bit of height that he can fly adequately from, because you can't freely fly throughout this until you've collected all of the keys. And so that's our third, I think, or fourth key. I can't remember. My brain doesn't work. All right, and then we're gonna head up here. And hopefully hit this one early. I unfortunately turned a bit late. You're supposed to pull up there, and you can hit one of the planes very early. However, we're going to do a little bit of a backup here, which by spinning around this way, We're gonna fly back towards where we came, fly up, and flame him as he comes at us. Very nice. Alright. We already grabbed all those gems. I was actually meant to grab them later than I did, but my brain turned off for a moment. Unlucky. Sparks once again showing that he doesn't like to work for us in this game. But it's okay. We continue moving. We charge on up. We see this beautiful room with a gorgeous photo of our goat, Nasty North. In Reignited, there's a bunch of love heart letters around him. I find to be a much more touching tribute than this portrait that we have, but at least it's there. It's something, right? Gonna do a quick gem check. We're at 2,000. We're gonna jump on into the vortex, and that's time. Now we get the
Spyro the Dragon.
120% cutscene.
Gnasty Gnorc, collected the dragon eggs, saved all the dragons, and recovered every bit of treasure in the Dragon Kingdom. How do you feel?
I feel fired up, Bob. And I'm happy for the dragon world, of course. I certainly wouldn't want to spend the rest of my dragon days butting heads with Nasty Gnorc and his weird minions.
What's a minion?
Never mind. You know what they say. For every good battle, you need a good adversary. And I felt that Nasty, in spite of his misguided nature, was a worthy opponent. Uh-oh. Here we go again.
And that's it. That's Spyro 1, 120%. I want to let the cutscene ride out. If you guys are interested in Spyro, I will tell you Spyro 1 is probably the easiest to begin on. However, the game we're going to be playing next here, Spyro 2, it's my personal favorite. It's the one that oh, this is not Spyro 2. I grabbed my Spyro 3 disc. This is not the one we're playing. We don't have 4 hours to spare, but we have a couple more.